I'm Nick Seco from Home Right Windows and Doors, and we're located in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. So we do vinyl replacement windows, we do steel and fiberglass entry doors, we do aluminum storm doors, and we do sliding patio doors, all made by Provia. The windows are a vinyl replacement window, and it could be anything from double hungs to casements to bay and bow windows and everything in between. So when somebody calls in the office and needs an estimate, they get Roxanne on the phone typically, and she would schedule an appointment for me to come out and take some measurements, provide some literature, go through what options we have, and then I would follow up within about 24 to 48 hours with an estimate with all the details of the products as well as the installed price. I find that we're typically much more affordable than the companies that you see advertising on TV or in a lot of other places. If they're spending a lot of advertising dollars, obviously they're passing those costs on to their consumers. You could go to our website at homerightwaynesboro.com, or you could call us at 717-749-4874.
Local and live, covering Franklin and Washington counties, it's Let's Talk TriState.
Welcome back to Let's Talk TriState, all powered by Home Right Windows and Doors in Waynesboro. The right choice online at homerightwaynesboro.com. I have two friends with me today, Sam Thrush, who we know and love from downtown Chambersburg. Inc. How's it going?
It's great to see you, Katie.
Yes,
Thank
too.
you so much for allowing myself and Kyle to be here today.
Of course. And Kyle, just tell me your last name again. Underkoffler.
Underkoffler.
Kyle Underkoffler.
Fine German name.
Which is perfect because you guys did you already launch the brewery or launching the brewery?
In the process of launching.
Okay,
Yeah.
and so we're gonna get into the ins and outs of Berg Brewing. Love the name. But first, Sam, I'm going to start with you. What's been going on in downtown?
A lot of great things. We're excited. We're about to start the amphitheater, which last time I was here, I was with Tiny and we talked about that.
When do you break ground on that?
It's soon. It's
Okay.
soon. I would say within the week. And
Wow.
we're grateful to everybody involved with that. But we also have exciting businesses coming to downtown Chambersburg, and one of them is Berg Brewing Company.
Love it.
100 South Main. That's where Kyle and the whole ownership team, the whole team, this summer, that's where they're going to be at. And just grateful that they're able to be in that space, to help work with the developer to renovate that space. There's been a lot of great local craftsmen that's been involved in that. I saw the brewing system in there. It fits nice in this space. I don't know how much we want to talk about the space because it's gorgeous, but there's a lot of other stuff we could talk about Berg Brewing Company, how it's two great Chambersburg guys and their wives and a couple other partners opening up the business and having some traditional beer. So Kyle, thank you so much to you and the family and all the team members for locating downtown.
Of course, and I just want to make the point that this is about developing downtown Chambersburg into something that people can enjoy. We want to be a location for people to come and spend time with their families, family-friendly environment.
Dog-friendly?
Yeah, perhaps.
Okay.
Perhaps. I think we need to. There's a couple other barriers we need to
that
cross.
out, of course.
Yeah. But we want to create a space that people can come rent for events. We want it to be flexible enough where people can come eat. They can come just get a couple beers if that's all they want to do. Maybe we can have some indoor rec leagues. Like I said, private event space upstairs. And then we have Neighbors Food Hall that's going to be going in next to us, which the developer, Josh Blankenship, will be opening hopefully in the August time frame. So we're almost there. We have a couple, like we were talking earlier, we have a couple other hurdles to cross before we get licensed by the state. And we're hoping to be open in the July time frame.
Oh, great. Are you from Chambersburg?
I am born and raised in Chambersburg.
Nice.
Yeah,
and your
believe it or
brother
not.
as well, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Did he stay in Chambersburg? Or?
We both have been all over the country and in and out of the country. My brother was a former Marine. I myself am a former Marine, so we kind of went off on our adventures. Did that thing, kind of saw the country.
Thank you for your service.
Oh, I appreciate you saying that.
Sure.
saw the country, saw the world, and we came back home. We started our own families, and now we came home, wanted to do something special. I got into home brewing early on. After I turned 21, I got infected by the bug, by the idea of creating your own beer at home. And I've been doing it for 15 years, and I've worked at many different breweries, and I've been in a lot of different clubs that have taught me a lot about beer. Been to Germany multiple times now, learning about the traditional way that they do it, and now we're ready to take it seriously and make a serious move.
Are you the beer maker?
I'm the beer maker.
You are, okay.
Maker of the beer.
And so, Sam, have you tried any of the beers yet?
I've tried the Saison. Did I say that right?
Saison.
Saison. Yeah, it's good. It's good stuff. I'm actually looking forward to an IPA that I haven't tried yet.
Yes. He's patiently waiting the rest of the beer lineup.
When you open, hopefully in July, how many beers will you have on tap to start?
Hopefully we'll have 8. There's 8 taps that we have, and then we'll get into bottling specialty stuff so we'll have some specialty stuff in 750 milliliter bottles at some point to have for sale too.
One thing I always love, I love breweries. Love going to breweries, but I always love the names and how some of the names are thought up.
Yeah.
Do you have one that sticks out?
We do. I think we do. Of course, so Berg, the first thing everybody thinks of is the Berg at the end of all the Bergs that we live in and around, which we wanted that sound to be synonymous with that. Mm-hmm. Although many people might ask, why is it spelled B-E-R-G and not B-U-R-G? Well, there is a story there. Our last name is Underkoffler. Mm-hmm. German means under the head in German. Mm-hmm. And our ancestors were farmers in the Alps under the head of the mountain. Okay, so my brother and I, we threw around some ideas. Right. Well, what's German for mountain? Berg, B-E-R-G. Mm-hmm. We're like, ooh, that's cool.
I love it.
But it's Berg. It sounds like B-U-R-G. And then we got thinking about, okay, well, common sense. What's easy to remember? 1 syllable, 4 letters.
Alliteration with the brewery.
Alliteration. Yep. Let's not get too pretentious on a crazy name. Simplify. It's easy to remember, and that's key for us. And that kind of fits our entire brand. We want to be easy to consume, literally and figuratively, as a brand and as beer.
As a product, sure, yeah.
And one of our mottos is beer with backbone. And it doesn't need to be overly pretentious. It doesn't need to be overly complicated. I think that's kind of where craft beer kind of made some. That's kind of where the industry is. It made some brands made some mistakes getting too kind of in the weeds of we got to make it as intellectual as possible. And I think we need to. Our aim is to reverse some of that and make it as approachable as possible to as wide array of people as possible.
Are you going to have a wheat beer or Hefeweizen or anything of the sort when you start?
We call it Day. Our Hefeweizen is called Day Spray.
I love it. Oh, Day Spray. That's a fun name.
Isn't it cool?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that was a good one.
You have a wheat beer, an IPA. What are some of the other types of beers that you'll have to start?
Couple IPAs. One's called Fern, Fermented Extraction of Resinous Nectar, stands for. We have Captain Simcoe.
So Fern is an acronym for, what did you say?
Fermented Extraction of Resinous Nectar.
All right, go
but
on.
It's also fern as like a fern.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
it.
Which it reminded me of when you're in Caledonia and you go on Charcoal Hearth and there's this areas where it's just like green fern, and drinking an IPA, I just want to be saturated with green hop resin, so I kind of came up with that acronym as a thing. And I'm a military man, so acronyms are kind of my thing.
I was an elementary school teacher, so
okay.
I love
great.
acronyms.
Yeah. I had a page of just acronyms printed out to remember.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
And we have Captain Simcoe, which is a New England style IPA, which is brewed hopped exclusively with Simcoe hops, and it's we're a favorite of the show Turn on AMC. I don't know if you remember that show, but it was about Washington Spies.
I remember that
One of the
show.
characters
Yeah.
on that was called Captain Simcoe, and he had a voice, and it sounded like Captain Simcoe. He had a high voice, but anyway, that's where we got that name. We have a couple different lagers. We have a Märzen, we have a Helles that we're really proud of. We have a Belgian pumpkin ale called Pumpkin Monk.
Is that going to be year round too? Hoping if it goes well.
What if it? And that's the thing. We have to see how it goes.
Right.
But
I
it's
love
a
that.
stronger. It's an 8% Belgian style with actual pumpkin and some baking spices in there.
And
it's
this.
actually a great meld because Belgian beers have that spicy thing already with them, and then you add some extra spice to it, and it really rounds out into a great beer. It's 8%. You just drink one and you're good to go.
I went to Belgium. I've been to Belgium before.
Oh, yeah?
I've
Okay.
been over a few times. But there's a place over, and there is a franchise here in Virginia. It's called the Elephant. Delirium.
Delirium Tremens.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I just stumbled upon it and asked for a flight of beer, and the beer came out, and there were 12 beers on the flight. It was.
Oh my gosh.
It was this big. It was ridiculous. Loved every second of
Leesburg, in Leesburg,
Yes,
correct?
yes, yeah.
Yeah,
And I'd
yeah.
actually been there before. Had no idea that was part of the bigger,
Yeah.
over in Belgium. So
Yeah,
that was
that's
really,
like the
really
only
cool.
place that imports that beer.
Yeah,
Or they get brewed, actually they had a beer brewed for them at that location, I believe.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was a cool story.
Yeah.
Little old Leesburg, too.
I
It's
just
really neat.
was like, oh my gosh, am I in Belgium and
Yeah.
seeing the elephant that I've seen in Northern Virginia before? That's
Yeah,
crazy.
the pink elephant.
Yes, you
Actually,
can't miss it.
speaking of Belgium, Sam mentioned Saison. It's called Springside Saison. That's actually a Belgian style beer, and that's actually one of our favorites because it has, first of all, Saison stands for season, and it was brewed by peasant farmers in Belgium who couldn't pay, and they couldn't afford to drink all of the monastic beer that the monks were brewing because they were very strong. So they're out in the field working, sweating, and they're thirsty. Well, they didn't want to drink the strong monastic beers, the Trappist beers, right? So they're like, let's just make our own beer, something that's very drinkable, something that's refreshing. So they came up with Saison, and they named it Season. They named it Season because you could drink it all year round. And the character that you get it's a light tasting beer. It's our version is 6% ABV, but it's straw colored. It's golden, kind of hazy, reminiscent of a Hefeweizen, but it has this yeast character that creates this citrus notes going on inside of it. That is a crowd pleaser. I've had a lot of female beer drinkers come up and say, I'm not a beer
I
drinking
want the lightest,
person,
something light I can have.
and this tastes
is
to
what I
me,
want.
I could drink this all day by the
great.
pool, and men say the same thing. Man, this is like a shandy-like type beer, but there's no added citrus. There's no added citrus to it. It's just all yeast character. So we have beers for everybody.
It sounds like it.
Yeah, we have beers for everybody.
Really am excited about what I'm hearing so far. And you tell a beautiful story, by the way. I like
thank
all the
you.
stories that you.
Yeah.
you
A
guys
lot of
put out.
traditional beers.
Give me a beer and I'll really get going.
Yeah,
sorry, Sam.
they have a lot of traditional beers, which they'll have at 100 South Main Street. And Kyle described 100 South Main Street as, enough room for about 80 people on the first floor, and then the second floor about 100. And there's two different types of characteristics between the first floor and the second floor. The second floor space is a little bit more open. There's different plans for events.
Is that going
in
to be like the
space.
venue space on the second floor? Is that what
That's correct.
the goal is? Okay.
And it's it'll be dividable and sort of flexible to fit whatever event you want to have.
On the first floor, when you walk through the doors off of South Main and you look straight back, you'll see the brewing system. It looks gorgeous
cool.
sitting there. Kyle and his team and the owners and the developer picked excellent colors for the space there in the building. What shade of green is that?
I forget the name of that color, but it's like a dark forest green.
And then there's
Like ferns. Like ferns.
Yeah, like ferns. Exactly.
and there's accents
that's
of
right.
a very
coming
awesome
together.
shade of yellow. There's accents of that.
Very aesthetically appealing.
Very
Looks
aesthetically
nice.
appealing.
We humorously call it a Wes Anderson gold or a Wes Anderson mustard. and it's like an old school MLB mustard gold, and it's just really a retro kind of thing. So you have that gold up against that kind of forest green, and it just there's a statement. Yeah, and there's an old world aspect to it. I think.
We'll talk about old world aspect. Let's talk about your bar back and how the bars looked. I mean, incredible local craftsmen that Kyle, the team, the developer, was able to work with.
It's all red oak.
Wow.
Handmade. Daniel Benedict
Beautiful.
down in Quincy, PA. He and his boys designed this gorgeous arched 3 arches bar. I give a lot of credit to Josh too. I mean, he and his wife had the vision for how it could look. And there's a white quartz bar top with a nice rail edge. I I mean, you really have to come and experience it.
I can see it in my head.
It's special.
It's a very special project.
Are there any other breweries in downtown?
On Main Street? No.
I didn't think so.
No.
So this is
out on the edge of downtown. We have Gear House, and in the past we've had Roy Pitts,
but not right in the heart.
Not right in the heart. Not right in the heart. It's awesome. It's also awesome that Kyle and the team are filling, adding in the second brewery to our community, which we have a very large community here in Chambersburg. But also it's providing different beers than what is on rotation at all their Chambersburg or Franklin County breweries.
Sure. Now, I know that probably your plan is to open in July, so there's going to be room to grow. Are you going to have any kind of food initially off the bat when you open the doors?
Yes.
Just basic? Or?
Yeah, basic. Enough to stick to your ribs.
Okay.
And enough to make sure you're soaking up some of that beer.
Soft pretzel with veggies is a must-have on the menu.
I think you're right. You know what? I'm going to call John up right now and make sure. And to your point, I'm going to just talk about John really quick. John Wassel is going to be our chef. He owns Matty Ann's Kitchen. John is it's an understatement to say that he's an amazing talent. He's Le Cordon Bleu trained in Pittsburgh. Mm-hmm. He's worked at restaurants in Washington, D.C., out in Pittsburgh, all over the place, Hagerstown, and he's from Fayetteville originally. And he's kind of come back, kind of the same way Adam and I have come back. He's come back and he wants to do something successful here and make it special. And we've partnered up with him, and he's going to be feeding Berg Brewing Company. That'll be a little delayed. We're waiting. We got a little delayed with his kitchen, with some code issues and some development issues. But hopefully that'll be finished in August. So I think the goal right now is to do some soft openings in July, get people introduced to what we're doing, and then have a grand opening in August with the full menu. But in the meantime, yes, he'll have some pierogies. One of his specialties is pierogies. Some pierogies. We'll probably have some wings, some pretzels, He does this thing. You have to hear about this. It's called a butterboard. Have you heard of a butterboard? Have you heard of a butterboard?
I have not.
I mean, I'm putting something in my head together that I think is not what you're about to explain.
You get a You know how charcuterie comes out on a cut it like a board,
sure.
Right? Mm-hmm. And he does a big old schmear of high quality butter, and then he puts all sorts of different little accoutrements on there, like little pistachio bits and some pomegranate seeds and some honey and some little gherkins or something like that, and then some bread. And you take that bread and you just smear it up off the board and eat it like that, and it's sinful. It's sinfully good.
Can I please tell you, Kyle, also how much I love the fact that you use the word accoutrement. That's one of my all-time favorite words.
French,
I
right?
love that word. But
I'm cultured.
You don't get to throw it out very often.
You don't.
You did it beautifully.
I pulled it out. I walked on the edge.
You did great.
I think I hit
You
got a base hit on it.
You
Okay,
did great.
Great.
So, Berg Brewery, 100 South Main Street in Chambersburg.
Yep.
We're going to be hopefully looking for some soft openings in July, grand opening in August. In the meantime, Kyle, if people wanted to get more information, do you have a website up and running?
Yes, we do. It's www.bergbrewsbeer.com.
Love it.
Yeah. And social media, of course.
Question for Kyle: where can the public see you next?
We will be at Operation Honor Rural Salute in McConnellsburg, June 7th.
Next weekend, yep.
Yeah. This Memorial Day to June changed
Having-
over with
yes,
weekends.
the weekend, I totally agree.
I thought it was like, last week
I thought today
it was
June
all mixed
1st.
up. Yeah,
Yes,
me too.
It's not.
Yeah, so that's what we're going to be. It's a great event, supports veterans. There's going to be a lot of veteran craft owners. There's going to be food. There's going to be lots of music. There's going to be, of course, Berg Brewing Co. serving a bunch of beer. It all goes to a great cause. It's a fundraising event, and it's at the McConnellsburg Fairgrounds. For right now, that's the place they can find us. And then stay tuned for our soft opening dates that we're going to have available to the public in July. Again, like I mentioned, go to our website, bergbrewersbeer.com. Instagram is Berg Beer Co. and Berg Beer Co. on Facebook.
Perfect. Well, Sam, thank you so much for spending time with us today. And Kyle, thank you so much for all the wonderful information. And you are such a beautiful storyteller.
Oh, thank
Hopefully,
you.
once you guys open up, you can either have us out or come back and let us know about upcoming events.
We'll have you guys up there.
Yeah, that would be great. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for spending some time today on Let's Talk Tri-State.
Awesome. Great.
Let's talk Tri-State.
If you'd like to be featured on an upcoming episode of Let's Talk Tri-State, call 717-597-9200 or email letstalk@921thegoat.com.